It's no secret that heavyweight boxer Joseph Parker is extremely tight with the Fury clan and regularly trains with Tyson, Huey, and Tommy. However, a quite surprising detail has recently emerged from Camp Fury surrounding the Big Kiwi, which will probably come as quite a shock to most considering how crucial Parker is thought to be. Today we're discussing a big revelation concerning Parker from Fury's trainer Andy Lee. Stay with us. Let's get straight into it then. What did Lee have to say? In the build-up to Joseph Parker's WBO interim heavyweight title fight against Joe Joyce last month, his new trainer Andy Lee has been discussing his impact on the Fury clan. Fury and Joseph are known to be extremely tight, a bromance which apparently came about after Parker took on Tyson's cousin Huey back in 2017. Lee, a former WBO middleweight champion in his own right, spoke about Parker and Fury in the build-up to the former's knockout loss to Joyce recently. Now, you might think that two world-class heavyweights in the same camp would be perfect for preparations when the other has a fight on the horizon, but not these two. Lee revealed that he doesn't actually let them get in there with one another, which is pretty wild. He said, "No, I don't let them spar. It's two alpha males in that type of environment, and you know it won't end well." And whilst his words probably won't surprise most people, it still seems like a waste of resources. However, Lee went on to say, someone landing a good punch, the other one trying, it's not going to end well, so keep them apart. Parker and Fury have actually been spotted in the ring together before, which probably means they were simply doing drills and not actually sparring together. What do you guys make of Andy Lee's refusal to let his heavyweights spar together? Good idea or a waste of a quality training partner? A quick look back at that huge knockout win for Joe Joyce now. Stay tuned. Joseph Parker went to war with Britain's Joe Joyce in Manchester a couple weeks back, but it didn't turn out too well for our man, as he was knocked out in the 11th round. Unfortunately for the Kiwi, Joyce had largely dominated the fight, all bar a couple of rounds scored in Parker's favor, and with the fight moving into the latter rounds, Joseph knew he was looking for a knockout if he was to have any chance of winning. The fight came to its conclusion in the 11th as Joyce put in some good work with his opponent, offering him very little in return. Joyce was much more active as the pair came together and was catching Parker more and more often as the round wore on. At one stage, the referee decided to separate the pair, but as they came together again, Joyce decided the time had come to get the big man from down under out of there, landing a big left hook which put Parker down onto the canvas. As Joseph failed to get back to his feet within the allotted time, the referee had no choice but to call off the fight, and Joe Joyce was crowned WBO interim heavyweight champion. Of course, the champion is one Alexander Usyk, and so if a fight with Fury doesn't go ahead, we can probably expect the Joyce fight sooner rather than later. What did you guys think of Parker's performance? Next up, the latest in the Tyson Fury vs. Anthony Joshua saga. Stick around. Tyson Fury announced to the world last week that following Joshua's failure to sign a deal to face him later in the year, he had missed his chance. It is thought that Fury was willing to agree to a 60-40 split in his favor to face his fellow Brit, which many had suggested was extremely generous of him, especially considering the different trajectories their respective careers are on at the moment. However, last week, Fury revealed that he had extended the deadline for Joshua to sign a deal to make the fight, telling Joshua and his team, "The ball is in your court. Everything is done." Fury then went on to goad AJ into signing by claiming they have all the broadcasters in place before saying, "If you have any dignity and pride about you, you'll get this contract signed today." The Gypsy King then told Joshua he is chucking him a massive bone, but Eddie Hearn suggested that Fury himself doesn't actually want the fight, which is the reason for him putting deadlines on it. The Matchroom man then said, "I think he just wants to fight Manuel Char on 3 December, but I don't think anyone else wants that fight. Hopefully, we can keep moving forward." From either side, I can't fault the process of trying to get done the biggest fight in British history. The only thing I can fault is we don't really know where we stand. Who you got if this one eventually goes down? Next up, Tony Bellew has weighed in on the potential Fury vs. AJ fight. Tony Bellew was knocked out by a gentleman by the name of Alexander Usyk back in November 2018, and last week suggested that the Ukrainian should have been the one Tyson Fury was calling out, not Anthony Joshua. The Scouse former WBC cruiserweight world champion also suggested that Fury is the one who is fighting for the money. Of course, being undefeated and calling out a man who has just been beaten twice in a row raised a couple of eyebrows, and Bellew's words appear to make sense. I mean, why didn't he call out Usyk? Describing the Joshua fight as a money grab by Fury, Bellew went on to say Fury isn't fighting AJ for the belt that he can't get hold of, but he simply knows that AJ is the biggest draw in heavyweight boxing. Bellew then suggested that if it was a belt the Gypsy King wanted, then surely he would have called out Usyk before before describing any fight with Joshua as for show and money, which is pretty difficult to disagree with. Fury continually claims that he doesn't care about money, which is a popular turn of phrase for people who have loads of it. So, if he isn't fighting for money, why wouldn't he be going after the biggest name in the game right now, Alexander Usyk? What do you guys think? We're discussing a potential matchup with Andy Ruiz next. Stick around. As we all know, Andy Ruiz shocked the world a couple of years back as he knocked out Anthony Joshua, but embarrassed himself by turning up to the rematch seriously out of shape. And recently, Tyson Fury's father has suggested Ruiz could be set to play back up to Joshua should those negotiations fail to pan out. However, Andy's father Andre has suggested otherwise by saying neither he nor his former heavyweight champion son have heard anything from Camp Fury in relation to a potential December fight with Tyson. He went on, "We haven't talked with them, but I don't think December is a possibility. Not for that date, since Andy is on vacation. He will resume training in November or December." Andre did, however, suggest a different date for a potential showdown between the pair after admitting that "we would like to fight Tyson Fury." We bet you would, considering how much money would be on offer. Andy's father then suggested they have the weekend of Cinco de Mayo in mind, which as we all know is a huge holiday in Mexico. Andre then said, "Andy and Tyson Fury are friends, and that fight can be done because they get along well, and that fight can be done with Tyson Fury. If there is an offer for next year, of course we would accept it." Interesting. Do you guys see these two fighting further down the line? And finally, some Tommy Fury news. Stay with us. Tyson's little brother Tommy has been close to a fight with YouTuber Jake Paul twice in the past year, but for one reason or another, neither fight has materialized. However, Paul has recently claimed on an episode of his podcast that the two have finally come to an agreement to stage the fight next year. Tommy had to pull out of their proposed December 2021 fight due to injury, with Tyrone Woodley stepping in at the last minute to unfortunately taste the canvas as he was flatlined. And Fury was again forced out of a fight earlier this year as he was denied entry to the United States, given the Fury family's close ties with Irish gangster Daniel Kinahan. Nothing was stopping Jake Paul from coming to fight Tommy in England, however, and over the past week, Jake has revealed that a fight between the pair has since been agreed for February 2023. As he said, "I had a call with Tommy Fury. Yeah, they're saying we're going to fight in February. I think he actually can't come into the United States, so if I fight in the UK, it can happen." He then admitted that he really wants to knock him out before suggesting that Tommy doesn't want to fight anybody. Okay, Jake. As usual, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to stop by again next time for some more fun reveals. And why not do us a big favor by liking and sharing today's video, whilst also subscribing to our channel. Bye guys!